in the last 25 years, 20 years out of which we have data for, we've been quite comfortable. We express shock and click our tongues, etc. But we haven't gone beyond any particular benchmark or any kind of expression while 310,000 farmers have committed suicide in this country, a data set that is extremely massaged, hugely underreported, and with all the prejudices and flaws in the data, and which since 2014 are simply meaningless, and which since 2016 are not being published even. With all that, you still get a figure of 310,000 human beings who the National Crime Records Bureau say have taken their lives. The farm suicides are not the agrarian crisis. They are its outcome, not its origin. They are its consequence, not its cause. But we discuss that because it's a human tragedy. It stands out in your face, and finally after 20 years we're taking note of it. So we tend to discuss these two as the same thing. For every farmer who has committed suicide, and there's a lot more than 310,000, there are 1,000 farmers who haven't done that, who are also deep in distress, okay, who haven't taken their lives, but they're deep in distress. Now, various reasons, various causes, arguments are advanced about the suicides, but I need to bring you back to the fact they are the manifestation, obviously the saddest manifestation of the crisis. And then there are the different reasonings given to you. For, drought has done this. Then there is one which will, that these guys are all killing themselves because they're in depression. Now there are two, this particular thing irritates me like hell. There are two ways you can go with this argument. It's a no-brainer that anybody who commits suicide has been in depression. I have not come across any individual who has committed suicide in joy. Maybe some profound research has been done that has shown us that, but I'm not aware of it. The other thing, if you look at the chain of things that has happened to a farmer, you'll find that the agrarian crisis is not just about the collapse of agriculture and cultivation. The farmer's universe has imploded. The farmer's universe has collapsed. Okay, but then I'll come back to that in a moment. Then there are the other wonderful arguments, right? They're committing suicide because of alcoholism. This is a favorite argument. People have written extensively. But before I come to that, the other argument on depression, to my opinion, entirely the wrong way to go, is to medicalize the depression, that this is a disease. Now the question with that is, why is this disease only affecting farmers in such large numbers? Why is it not affecting others who are doing something else? Why is it not affecting fisher folk? Yeah. So the depression argument can be seen in terms of social, economic, driving factors, collapse of your universe, collapse of your farming, that creates a depression. Indebtedness creates humiliation. There is a case for that depression and suicide. The other is to treat it like a viral disease. That, these guys, they've all got this. And then that's when you start treating them as nuts, as being crazy, not as being human beings who have suffered a lot and from where the depression. So the second argument seems to me a good argument for selling a lot of products, and giving a lot of money to corporate hospitals, etc., which has happened in Andhra Pradesh and elsewhere to sort out this problem. Another favorite argument is that the farmers are all drunkards. and that, excessive drink is causing suicide. Now, yes, alcohol, who would deny that alcohol is a problem, but is it only a problem in farmers? I was asked this question by a journalist of 25 years experience, most of which was his experience was in Vidarbha, at the Journalists Union meeting in Nagpur. I was asked this, isn't it a fact that all these fellows commit suicide because they are drinking too much? Now, I like that debater. If you explore that argument, if excessive alcoholism, if excessive consumption of alcohol is the driving factor of suicides, damn it, there would be no journalists left in the world. And very few academics. And no human rights development sector people at all. So, this kind of absolute bullshit, that it's a way of saying it's their problem, I have nothing to do with it. This depression is disease, and this alcoholism as cause are ways of saying it's not my problem. It's not, I don't need to do anything about it.